Yerp. Yerp. Yizip. Niner gang. Bang, bang. We back for another week. Back for another week of a preview. We previewing the Arizona Cardinals, who we take on this week at 4:25, I think, Eastern time, in Arizona, in Glendale. Cardinals are 4-0, coming to the game undefeated. We coming into the game 2-2, running off 2 straight losses, 2 games that I feel like we should have won. I feel like we should be coming into this game undefeated, just like the Cardinals, but that ain't the way the cookie crumbled, so we're just going to move along with it, right? So let's go ahead and talk about these Cardinals, man. The Cardinals coming in 4-0. So far this season, they have beaten the Tennessee Titans 38-13, Minnesota Vikings 34-33, Jacksonville 31-19, and the Rams 37-20. These guys are averaging 35 points per game. But let's get into the team statistics, shall we? 49ers right now, currently we are averaging 26.8 points per game. The Cardinals are averaging 35 points per game. Points allowed per game, we are allowing 25.5 points a game. The Cardinals are allowing 21.3 points per game. Total yards, we are averaging 386.3 a game, 271.8 of that being passing, 114.5 of that being rushing. The Cardinals are averaging 454.8 yards a game, 318.3 of that being passing, and 136.5 of that being rushing. As far as yards allowed, we are allowing 352.5 yards a game, with 234 of that being passing and 118 of that being rushing. The Cardinals are allowing 376 yards per game, with 240.3 of that being passing and 135.8 of that being rushing. With that being said, Cardinals are coming in with the number one offense. They're playing very good bend but don't break defense. They're giving up a lot of yards, but they've only given up more than 30 points once so far this year. Only giving up more than 20 points twice out of 4 games. The other games, the other team scored 19 and 13. So these guys are playing bend but don't break. You know, they give up a lot of damn yards, but somehow these teams just can't keep up with the scoring that the offense does. And I'm just going to give it to them right now. They got the number one offense in the NFL from what I've seen personally. And that's my personal opinion. But I feel like they have the number one offense in the NFL. So without further ado, let's get into the Cardinals, man. We'll start on offense. We're going to break down some strengths and weaknesses, go over some key players, and then we'll do the same thing on defense. We'll go over 3 keys for the Cardinals to win, 3 keys for our Niners to win, and then some key matchups. And then I'll give y'all guys my score prediction at the end of the video. So let's get right into it, man. The Cardinals on offense. Some strengths for the Cardinals on offense is the passing game, Kyler Murray's running ability. So the passing game, I mean, these guys have 4 receivers who are all putting up the same type of numbers so far this season. They also have a okay tight end as well. Kyler Murray and his ability to extend plays, get away from pressure, get first downs when needed with his legs is just very, very dangerous. This guy's extremely fast, extremely shifty, and he's small, so it makes him even harder to find behind those big linemen. So weaknesses on offense, I would say the running game from the running back standpoint. The running backs aren't getting a lot of carries. As far as other teams go, they aren't getting a lot of carries. They are averaging 4.5 yards a rush per game as a running team, but that comes mostly from Kyler Murray and one of the other running backs, Chase Edmonds. Everyone else though, just not putting up the numbers running wise. And offensive line consistency is a weakness for these guys as well. They've allowed some sacks. Kyler Murray's been pressured a lot. Like I said, he's just been Houdini with his damn legs. But yeah, so running game from the running back standpoint and offensive line consistency. So the strengths is the passing game and Kyler Murray's running ability. Weaknesses would be the running game from a running back standpoint and offensive line consistency. Let's get into some key players, man. Key players, we got quarterback Kyler Murray. Everybody knows about this guy. I call him Houdini because he does shit every week that we just do not see. Kyler Murray is 100 102 of 134 with a 76.1% completion rate for 1,273 yards, 9 touchdowns to go with 4 interceptions, and he's been sacked 8 times so far this year. He also has 23 rushing attempts for 109 yards at a 4.7 average and 3 touchdowns as well. We go to running back Chase Edmonds. Everybody thought James Conner would be the guy, and James Conner has gotten the bulk of the carries, but Chase Edmonds is their big play threat. He's averaging 5.9 yards a carry. He has 43 carries for 255 yards, but he doesn't have any touchdowns. James Conner has all the touchdowns, and Kyler Murray has all the touchdowns rushing. And it kind of makes sense. James Conner, the bigger back. So when they're getting down there towards the goal line, they're giving it to James Conner instead of Chase Edmonds. So I can understand that, but Chase Edmonds would be the key player that I put there at running back. Wide receiver, you got A.J. Green, who has 15 receptions for 248 yards and 2 touchdowns. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who has 17 receptions for 225 yards and 3 touchdowns. You got Christian Kirk, who has 16 receptions, 244 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And you got Rondale Moore, the rookie, who has 16 receptions for 211 yards and 1 touchdown. And then you got the tight end, Max Williams, who has 15 receptions for 179 yards and a touchdown. These guys are loaded at wide receiver, and that scares the hell out of me. Due to our defensive back situation right now and all the injuries we suffered and the guys we got shuffling around, this Cardinals passing game really scares the hell out of me, man. But let's go ahead and move on to the defensive side of the ball. Some strengths on defense. The bend but don't break. Like I said, these guys bend but don't break. They give up a lot of yards on defense, but they don't give up points, or at least the offense that they give up the yards to can't score as much as their offense can. So that's why they under goddamn feed it. Run defense. Run defense is also a big thing here. I would say pass rush potential. They do have 10 sacks, but 5 of those came in game 1. So since game 1, the other 3 games, they only have 5 sacks. So and right now J.J. Watt has yet to record a sack so far. So that is a very tall tale. They only have 15 tackles a loss so far in 4 games. So they're averaging about a little under four tackles for loss a game. But yeah, some strengths, bend but don't break. Their run defense, their pass rush, like I said, potentially can be. Like I said, they did half of their sacks came in 1 game. So they do have pass rush potential with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones on each side, but and also Isaiah Simmons back there as well too. But it hasn't been what it was game 1. Weaknesses, I would say pass coverage. These guys give up a lot of yards through the air. Give up 240.3 yards through the air. They give up actually 6 yards more than we do through the air. So yeah, pass coverage is going to be the biggest weakness for these guys on defense. Now let's get into some key players. We have defensive lineman J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt right now through 4 games has 6 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss. And that's about it for J.J. Watt so far this year. But he still is a threat with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones both lining up on the line of scrimmage. That you can't double either one per se, because then you leave one of them one-on-one. I mean, we could probably do that with Trent Williams, but on the other side, we'd have to double up on that guy. Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones through 4 games has 9 tackles, 5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. He also has 2 forced fumbles and one fumble recovery. Chandler Jones got off to a great start. He had 5 sacks in the first game. He has not had a sack since. The last 3 games, he has not had a sack. So he is very dangerous, but he has tailed off a little bit towards the end. So, yep. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons, one of the most athletic linebackers in the league. He is the leading tackler on this team. He has 23 tackles, 2 pass breakups, an interception, and 2 forced fumbles. These guys have forced 8 fumbles so far, and they recovered 5 of them. So these guys do a very good job. They also have 4 interceptions. These guys do a very good job of turning you over, which is very big. You have cornerback Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy has 11 total tackles. He has 5 passes defended, 2 interceptions, 1 defensive touchdown. Byron Murphy has been balling for him. And the safety Buda Baker, who is tied for second on the team with tackles, with 22 tackles. He has 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass deflection, And that's about it for him. But yeah, these guys are they like I said, they play bend but don't break defense. They're gonna give up yards. That's gonna come, but they do not break and they do not allow you to score more than their offense is gonna score, which is all you can ask for a defense when you got an offense as good as the Cardinals is. Let's get into 3 keys for a Cardinals win. Number 1, attack the 49ers DBs. This is probably going to be in every week until we get some more consistency and some guys back from injury in the defensive backfield. The Cardinals just got to attack our DBs, man. Attack our DBs. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Cardinals throw the ball 35 to 45 times a game Sunday. I mean, 35 to 45 times Sunday. Just to try to attack the DBs, man. I mean, they got 4 capable wide receivers. They know how our defensive backfield is coming to this game. You got to attack 49ers DBs. Number 2, make the 49ers quarterback beat you. Looks like it's going to be Trey Lance. Trey Lance's first NFL start. You got to make him beat you. You can't let the 49ers running game get off this week. They have running game really hasn't gotten off so far. But if the Cardinals can keep the running game at bay and make Trey Lance beat us with his arm, that bodes well for those guys. Number 3, sack the quarterback. Sack the quarterback, which is going to be hard because Trey Lance can move around a little bit. He does have mobility. But, hey, these guys, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, Isaiah Simmons, they have guys that can get in the backfield and get to the quarterback. So sacking the quarterback is going to be very big. You cannot allow Trey Lance to extend plays with his legs and get outside of the pocket and make plays that way because he's shown that he can make plays on the run, throwing the ball, and running the ball as well. And now let's get into 3 keys for a 49ers win, Niner game. Number 1, contain Kyler Murphy. We have to contain him. We're probably not going to stop him, but we have to contain him. We cannot let him get outside the tackles and go to making those Houdini plays that he makes. Our pass rush just has to be better, man. For some reason, I thought with these guys coming back from injury that we would have a better pass rush. But so far this year, our pass rush has been, it's been okay. It's been okay. It hasn't been what it was when we went to the Super Bowl in 2019, but it's been okay. It's definitely been okay, but we have to contain Kyler Murray, keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket passer instead of being able to use his feet to beat us. Number 2, can we please establish the run game? I don't think we're built to have a downfield passing game. So in order for our passing game to be successful, we have to establish the run game. Kyle Shanahan loves to run play action and all these motions and all that stuff there. But that stuff's redundant if we can't run the ball. Because if we can't run the ball, we still have to rely on a rookie quarterback to lead us with his arm. And I'm just not that sold on Trey Lance yet to think that he could lead us to a victory against a team as good as the Cardinals just on his arm alone. So we have to establish the running game no matter who it is. Hopefully we get Elijah Mitchell back this week. We'll have Trey Sermon and we can establish a consistent running game. And number 3, offense has to put up points. We have to put up points. Last week against the Seahawks, we outgained those guys by 200 yards, but we couldn't finish drives and put up points. And that is going to be big. I think Robbie Gould is out again, so field goal kicking is going to be a big question. But we have to put up points because the Cardinals are going to put up points. So we have to outscore the Cardinals. Offense has to put up points. Number 1, contain Kyler Murray. Number 2, establish the run game. Number 3, offense has to put up damn points. Now let's get into some key matchups. Key matchup that I'm looking forward to watching. The Cardinals passing game versus the 49ers pass defense. When I say passing game, I mean everything. Kyler Murray moving around, doing his thing, all the receivers, the tight end against 49ers pass defense, and I mean everything there. Our pass rush, our coverage. We have to be better in coverage. We've been doing a good job on a deep ball, right? On the deep balls where we've been doing a good job. Where we haven't been doing a good job is on third downs. We haven't been doing a good job of getting teams off the field on third downs, and that's what we're going to have to do. So I'm interested to see how the Cardinals passing game stacks up against our pass defense, especially with all the injuries and stuff that we sustained. The next key matchup I'm looking for is the 49ers run game versus the Cardinals run defense. The Cardinals so far this year give up 135.8 yards rushing a game. If we can get to the 140, 150 yard rushing on Sunday, I think we have a great chance of winning the game. But that is another key match that I'm looking forward to, the 49ers run game versus the Cardinals run defense. Can our run game get off the ground rolling the way we did in week 2? Or, I mean, in week 1? Or is it going to be the same thing that we've seen the last 3 weeks where we just aren't able to run the ball, especially from a running back's point of view and standpoint? Also, and now we are going to bring it in for the prediction of the game. Cardinals versus 49ers this coming Sunday in Glendale, Arizona. Niner gang, I got the Cardinals taking this one 30-24. This game just screams the Cardinals win. You know, we're starting a rookie quarterback, first start in the NFL. Our DBs are hurt. These guys have great wide receivers, a great quarterback. I just think we come up just short as we have in the last 2 games, and we lose this game 30-24. You guys let me know your score predictions in the comments. Remember to always like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and y'all already know who I am. I'm real, and I got a damn sports opinion. Holla back.